Good morning, everyone. I'm Katrina, and this is my friend Salah. We're going to talk about mergers and acquisition and restructuring today. Mergers and acquisitions. Merger and acquisition is extremely important activity in strategy management in order to run a business or a part of management decisions. Now, we saw larger and larger deals, and we saw companies merging, and the activity surely has emerged in every system in business. Now, what is this activity? Mergers and acquisitions come into practice when an enterprise wants to grow rapidly, or when an enterprise is going down and they don't have revenues and they want to do something to bring success to the company. It's when mergers and acquisitions come into existence. Now, as I said, it's a part of the strategy management and corporate finance and management, which deals with buying, selling, dividing, and combining of different companies. Now, what is merger? Normally, merger and acquisition are used interchangeably, but they both are very different. They both have very different meaning, and let's look at them. Merger is defined as the combination of two or more companies in creation of a new entity or formation of a holding company. Now, two similar companies or two similar sized firms, when come together for one purpose, that is profit, it is merger. Now, you may recall the failed merger of Daimler and Chrysler, where the names were combined and both companies came together for success, but it didn't quite work. So let's go to acquisition. Now, acquisition is the purchase of shares or assets on another company to achieve a managerial influence. This is a situation where you find a larger company taking over a smaller company, where a larger company makes the smallest company its subsidiary. For example, not too long ago, we saw Kraft paid $20 billion to purchase Cadbury. Kraft is a convenience manufacturer, food manufacturer, which is in United States, and Cadbury is a confectioner into chocolates and chewing gums, and it's located in the United Kingdom. Now, Kraft took over Cadbury so that in order to get the profits of Cadbury. Now, this is an example of acquisition. Now, we come to types of mergers. Types of mergers, there are several types of mergers, and I'm going to explain them to you. Now, vertical activity in mergers and acquisition could simply be to buy a supplier or a customer. Now, vertically going forward or backward, vertically going forward and backward to streamline their cost structure. For example, we see Johnson & Johnson and Mentor. Now, Mentor is a glove company, and Johnson & Johnson took over Mentor, acquired Mentor in order to send out more, in order to be their supplier of the company. Let's read what it has to say. It says, if one firm acquires either a customer or a supplier, they simply buy a supplier to use it as a vehicle to expand their horizons. The company tries to vertically go forward or backward to streamline the cost structure, as I explained. Now, let's go to this second type of type mergers. Now, that is horizontal mergers. Now, in horizontal mergers, one firm acquires this firm that produces and sells an identical or similar product. Now, in this case of horizontal, we see where they merge or acquire a competitor. Now, Dutch firm, for example, Bev brought Anheuser-Busch to reduce the competition. So the next one is product extension merger. Two companies selling different but related products in the same market. Product extension is a situation where you buy complementary products or something which fits into that company's portfolio. And for example, again, we can take Cadbury and Kraft and Cadbury. Now, it's the perfect example, and it actually also exemplifies market extension. The next type of mergers, that is two companies that sell the same products in different markets. A market extension merger takes place between two companies that deal in the same products but in separate markets. Now, it's about marketplace. It's about going out of the place where the company is actually located. The main reason why Kraft bought Cadbury is to expand their horizon first, and marketplace. And for example, Cadbury is very, very famous in India and Brazil, and Kraft is not. We don't know what Kraft is, and it was hardly and minimally successful in places like that. So Kraft bought Cadbury in order to take all the success and revenues which it happens to have in the emerging businesses in different countries. Now let's see. Okay, and also there is an unrelated firm in mergers and acquisitions called conglomerate. Now, for example, General Electric, they deal with a lot of industries which are not related. For example, starting from bulbs or appliances, jet engines, or to medical healthcare industries, and many more. Now, my friend Sila will explain the purpose of mergers and acquisitions.
Hello. I'll be taking you through the purpose of merging. Now, for every action we all know, for every action taking or for every decision taking, there's always a purpose. And the basic purpose of mergers and acquisition is to achieve faster growth of the corporate business. And you know, every business or every managerial corporation always wants to grow in their business, to procure profits, to procure gains, and other purposes are capital gains. Yeah. And the reasons for merging, like, we all would like to know why companies merge. The first is market consideration. Like, through market consideration, merged companies will want to they will use this avenue to capture the greater shares of in the market. Then diversification. Mergers and acquisition, they aim at the objectives of diversifying activities. They do so to obtain advantages of joining resources to finance, for debt financing, and for better service to the shareholders. Also, synergetic operation economy. Synergy means working together, and the gains for working together, it mostly occurs in a merge where it is very easy and there are larger chances of eliminating duplicate companies. And horizontal merge is a very perfect type of merge for synergic operating economy. Other reasons are distribution economies, manufacturing advantages, research and development needs, and many more. Moving forward to failures of mergers and acquisitions. While we all say mergers and acquisition is a success in the economy, in the business world, because it cuts costs and boosts revenues, it is never as easy as it sounds or as it seems, because historical trends revealed that 2/3 of merged company they disappoint on their own. It means they lose value in the market structure, in the stock market, and mostly it is as a result of the flaws of the scales of economy, and it proves to be elusive. Okay, we'll be going to restructuring. Restructuring is basically reorganizing through the changing of location of capital investments. And in the corporate level, restructuring is broken into two specific categories. The first is the operational restructuring, where the total sale or partial sale or perhaps downsizing of a company occurs. This is done by eliminating or reducing or eventually closing down the unprofitable or unrealistic facilities in the company. And the financial restructuring, this is an action taken by the firm to change the total debt and the equity structure of the company. Okay. Downsizing. Downsizing, we will say, is an instrument of restructuring where it's an activity to reduce the workforce of a company or the workforce of a department or a company as a whole. Mostly the reason for downsizing basically is to reduce financial burdens on the company while holding on to the productivity level and increasing the per capita productivity of a company. with the same reduced workforce, and it is designed for organizational efficiency and effectiveness. Downscoping refers to eliminating. Downscoping refers to eliminating of a business that is unrelated or partially related to the main business of the company. And downscoping occurs by diversifying of a business that is not related to the portfolio. A leverage buyout. Leverage buyout it refers to the use of debt as a primary method for financial restructuring of a company. Leverage buyout refers to the use of debt as a primary method for financial restructuring of a company.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and talk about the implementation issues. Now, there are a lot of issues about or doing this activity, but one of the major one is cultural differences. Now, merging and acquisition activity always requires merging over two different cultures. Now, one is, for example, when we take a Dutch company like Daimler and Chrysler, that was a different cultures coming together, and that was one of the reasons why it failed. Now, and also it may be like that, or secondly, it may be different organizational cultural structures of that both of the companies, and when they come together, there are differences in between those companies. Now, that's about culture. And now let's look ahead and see how we can apply, or how Bible relates, or what Bible tells about these concepts. Now, in Bible, Romans 12:4 says, "For just as each of us has one body with many members, and these members do not all have the same function." Now, the idea of this verse, or what it's portraying to say, is that we are all made differently, and we all have different works or assignments or purposes God has put for us in order to work for one goal, that is the ultimate purpose, that is to glorify Him and to expand the kingdom of God. And we all work together differently for one purpose, and every part of the body has its own responsibilities. So it's about togetherness. When we all come together and work for one thing, it's more advantageous. And Ecclesiastes 4:9-12 says, "Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up." So this verse clearly says that one falls, it is a blessing, or it's a good thing when another company or another person comes and helps and encourages to lift them up. So that's biblical. Now, 3 John 1:8, "Therefore we ought to support people like these, that we may be fellow workers for the truth." So there are a lot of verses in Bible which says about unity and working together, but these are some of them. Now, 2 Corinthians 6:14 says, now this is about working together, but there's something when there are differences in the people or in the companies, or if we take as companies coming together, when they have different agendas for themselves. Now, if they come together for one purpose, everybody has to work for one purpose, but they shouldn't be having their different agendas, and they shouldn't be there should be harmony. And for example, 2 Corinthians 6:14, "Do not be yoked together with unbelievers, for what do righteousness and wickedness have in common? Or what fellowship can light have with darkness?" So we have to make sure that when we are working together, we should have the same agendas and same desire, and that desire to be to have success. And this was our presentation in mergers and acquisitions. Thank you so much.
Thank you.